Welcome back to part 2 of the Kiwi biker adventure road trip to Paihia in the far north of New Zealand. In part 1 we left our home in Huapai and travelled up State Highway 16 to Wellsford, down State Highway 12 to Dargaville and then along the Tango Wahine Valley Road to State Highway 15. Today you join us as we arrive at Twin Bridges, the halfway rest point along State Highway 15. The Twin Bridges rest area is a nice and quiet location set back from the main road, State Highway 15, and is a good place to stop for a break when riding from Dargaville or Mangatapiri through to Kaikoui. The rest area has a shaded parking area with a beer garden style table and bench, and used to have a male and female portable toilet which has since been removed since the last time we were here. Well, good morning, and you join us at the Morepork River Lodge in Paihia, which is the far north of New Zealand. A most amazing bed and breakfast, really, one of the nicest we've been to. Let me take you for a small look around. Couple of Canadian geese having a chat there. And that's the property back up there. As you can see behind me, this is the sort of veranda, but more importantly, you want to see the view from up here. You can imagine sitting at these two seats with your evening wine or a beer, and then getting subjected to that. Isn't that an amazing sight? rolling hills of Kiwi bush, pretty much. And of course, Duma Park downstairs. So from the balcony outside, which I've obviously just shown you the view, that goes through into this double room. We opted for the 2 single beds, but there are 2 other rooms with a different configuration. So as you can see, there's loads of room. Don't worry about the condensation. TV, 2 beds, and a sitting area over there, which makes it all very comfortable, very roomy for 2 people, that's for sure. But the pièce de résistance of this room has to be the bathroom, and this is why we chose it. Let me take you inside. How's this for a bathroom? On the one side, it's got a full walk-in shower, as you can see. Huge. And on the other side, this amazing bath. And just off to the side of the suite, we have a little kitchenette. There she is, doing what she does best. Cleaning, cooking. So, that's basically our accommodation here in Paihia. We're about 7 kilometers from the town. Is it town? City?
Town.
From the town. As you leave this place and go into town as well, literally on the outskirts of town, there's a supermarket. So you don't have to go in and trawl through traffic or anything like that. Literally, as you come in on the left-hand side, there's a supermarket, which we visited and got our bits and pieces we needed for last night. And yeah, turned into a very, very enjoyable evening. Out the supermarket, on the bike, turn right and shoo, straight up the road, 5 minutes ride, and you're back into this accommodation. So what do you think of the room overall?
It's nice and spacious.
It is.
I think the bathroom is what kind of sells it.
What does the bathroom do for you?
It has a bath.
Ah.
It has a bath.
How big is the bath?
Big enough for me.
And me. No, seriously. When we looked online and I saw this room, I thought, okay, well, rooms are rooms. This one was quite modern, so it was very nice, quite pretty. But then the picture of the bathroom, I just stopped and gazed at it on my screen and I thought, what? How big is that? Is that just a picture, or is that part of this room? So even when we booked it, I sent a comment through to the owner saying, we want the room with that bathroom, please. And yeah, literally the bathroom almost feels like it's the same size as the bedroom. It's absolutely huge. I can't say enough about it. And it's important because if you have an ensuite, you want to make sure you've got something that's comfortable. I mean, you're enjoying yourself in there as much as you're enjoying yourself in here.
I enjoy myself in the bathroom at all times. Especially when it's a bath.
We won't go into detail, but we'll just, yeah. So, there you go. Highly recommended if you're coming up north, if you're coming up to Paihia, to Russell, to Waitangi, that sort of area. Morepork Riverside Lodge, which is just out of town, very quiet, a little bit of car noise on the road as going past the traffic, but nothing to shout home about.
And the hosts have been really, really friendly, and they weren't here last night, but he phoned up and he gave us instructions on where everything was, and so really quite forthcoming. And
absolutely. They had to be in Whangarei for some reason. They weren't here. But he did text me and say, are you guys settled in okay? Is there anything that you need? So that's the kind of interaction you have with the hosts. We'll be meeting them today, and I'm sure we'll potentially get them on camera for Kiwi Biker Adventurers as well. and let him say hello. But yeah, that'll be good. So a little bit about the trip yesterday. We came up here on Friday. We managed to get away from Auckland around about 12:30 and got up here for about 3:34 p.m. in the afternoon. Followed the GPS on the BMW K1600, which wanted to take us via Dargaville rather than up State Highway 1, which I didn't have a problem about, because I think that's all what motorcycling's about, is taking the back roads rather than sticking to the highways, etc. As this was our first big ride on urban roads in New Zealand, it was important to see how the BMW handled on those rural roads, etc. So there was no dirt roads to worry about, but some fairly narrow tarred roads, asphalt roads. And all I can say is I was absolutely astounded by the handling that the BMW gave us over and above Goldwing, which was our previous motorcycle. Two up, we had it set in correctly for two people, in dynamic mode and comfort. So those are the modes that the BMW gives you. Comfort mode, 2 helmets, which was obviously a rider and passenger, and you either had road, dynamic, or rain. And as there was no rain, I left it in dynamic, and it truly was very, very comfortable. Round the corners, no problems at all. It just felt like I was throwing a sort of a 125 underneath me round the corners. I barely felt Tracy on the back. Occasionally she wiggled, I think, to make her bum more comfortable, and I could feel it. I could feel that transverse through the bike a bit, but absolutely no hindrance on the actual performance or handling of the motorcycle. So, 5 stars for handling, BMW K1600 GT. What did
5 star for comfort as well.
Now this is a lady coming off a Goldwing, which has a armchair on the back, as you all know, onto a standard saddle, BMW configuration saddle, and no backrest apart from the tog bag you had to lean against. And yep, so she used to have foot plates on the Goldwing, on the GL18, and these are normal standard foot pegs, obviously. But absolutely amazed.
Seat's a little hard, but it's still comfortable. It's not uncomfortable hard. It's just solid. So
yeah, I mean the Goldwing's got the sort of edges up and all that, so it's a bucket seat basically on a Goldwing, so it is very, very comfortable. But this is more hard cushion. But I think the suspension on the BMW, both on the front and back, is far more superior to the Goldwing, and that's what makes the ride that much more comfortable. The bike soaks up the bumps, the suspension soaks up the bumps, and it doesn't transfer it through to the actual seating arrangement. So a lot of the bumps you're going over, you don't even feel. You don't even know you've been over a bump. I can see it on the road, obviously, as I'm watching around the corners and that. I can see, a bit of a bump there, and next minute you're over it and gone, and you don't really feel much. Where the Goldwing, you could feel the bumps as you went over them. Sort of shock wave that came through that occasionally, I remember.
Yeah, and potentially the new Goldwing would have changed all that, because it's got a similar sort of suspension setup, and it's got the mono shocks, which is the same as what the BM's got. So potentially the new Goldwing would probably be similar.
Yeah. In all fairness to what Tracy's saying,
in the BMW.
Yeah, our Goldwing was a 2002 model, which we're now, that would be 18 years old. We test drove the 2018, the new style Goldwing, last year. Was it the year before?
Year before.
Year before. And that was a very different motorcycle, I must admit. whilst we still had the GL18, the 2002. And and now we've moved across to this BMW is 9 years old. It's a 2011, so it's not the 2020, which I can imagine is full of new tricks as well. But even with the 2011, a 9-year-old motorcycle, the technology in it is absolutely mind-blowing. You know, I mean, as you're riding, you can check. For instance, you know, the things that go through your mind when you're on the road, and the bike will do something. You'll think, I wonder what's causing that. Is it my tires? Are my tires? Do they need air? Are they deflated? Now, obviously, you can't see your tires whilst you're riding. It's impossible. But last week when we were on the BMW, we were just exiting a village, and I got a warning light come up on the panel, and I thought, okay, what's happening here? Catastrophic? What? I don't know. Never had a warning light on a panel. And the insignia that came up was a tire, and it came up as red, and it immediately shows you on the instrument cluster that your front tire was at 1.9 bar, and that's below the recommended safety level. So your front tire was basically soft with 2 people on it. So we stopped, turned around, and went back into town, and I pumped it up to about 2.4, because I at that stage didn't know what the recommended amount was. Found out very soon after that, and yes, they're both at 2.9 now, which is the recommended level. But that just gives you an idea. You know, your tire didn't have enough air in it to sustain 2 people. The bike tells you that for a 2011. So yeah, all kinds of things happen, and things come up on the clusters. The computer works stuff out as you're riding. With ABS braking, absolutely brilliant. You can snatch that front brake as you're coming into a corner at high speed, and it drops you down.
Not that you would ever ride at high speed.
No. Yeah, so again, 5-star and thumbs up to BMW. That is a magnificent bike, and it's one that we're going to be keeping for a while, I think. Yeah. So we look forward to taking you around this wonderful country with the BMW. All right, so from here it's a ride down into Paihia, and we'll show you around Paihia.
Breakfast.
And breakfast.
I don't believe it. Are you serious? You serious? I don't believe this, you cat. You're an arsehole.
So just sit tight. When she lets her hair down, she drives me wild. As she looks in my eyes, she's in the groove now. Gonna make her mine. I've got to move now. Hell yeah.
We got love that we'll never need to hide. Love will always rise above. Whatever comes, we will be just fine. If I am yours and you are mine. Take my hand and let's fly away to another galaxy. Hold me close, I want to feel your love. Together we are free. Just be with me. Just be with me. Just be with me. Now we're one with the sun over our heads, and at night we'll be the stars. We can go any place that we want to. I don't care if that's too far. Take my hand and let's fly away to another galaxy. Hold me close, I want to feel your love. Together we are free. Just be with me. Just be with me. Just be with me.